Hello everyone. Welcome to the first video on our first topic, which is finality. I think one of the most frustrating components of our current situation for myself is the lack of a timeline. When is this going to end? How long am I going to have to hold out in my home with my family for? And what we know is that we as people, we as human beings want to know. We have a need for structure. We define time from January 1st to December 31st. And so we have a real need to identify a beginning and an end. Books have beginnings, they have chapter one. And so through time, we're very familiar with this structured process. When we as people experience chaotic environments or stressful environments, environments that don't have finality, our minds begin to race. We begin to ruminate and think about over and over and over what is wrong. And so this first video has to do with switching in your mind the way that you think and process the world around you. Think of it this way. Have you ever completed or started a 1,000-piece puzzle? Puzzles and games were the very first things to go out of the stores. And so many of you may be putting puzzles together. But if you're not a puzzle person, spread one out on the table, a 1,000-piece puzzle. The sheer anxiety that overtakes you when you see the massive number of pieces on the table is part of the experience that we can relate to with COVID-19. And so what experienced puzzle players do is they start where? The outside pieces. So one might say, whoa, calm down. Let's just look for pieces with edges. And then we start, we edge it out, we have a victory, we high five, and then we look at the picture and we say, okay, let's start with the flowers. So then everybody finds the flowered pieces, the colored pieces, and we build the flowers by the house. The house is next, we build the house, we high five, and we take this step by step, piece by piece. We don't overwhelmingly just start with the puzzle. We break it down into chunks, and the wise saying, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? This is very, very similar to that. So when you think about the overwhelming nature of where we're at, I want you to remember this, and I heard this from a psychologist a few weeks back, and it was the acronym WIN. What's important now? WIN, W-I-N. What's important now? And so if you think about it from a puzzle perspective, what's important now is the first, when you see it, the most important thing is to put the outside around. The next piece, selecting the flowers. What's important now? We figure out which the flower pieces are. Next piece, what is important now? It's the house. And then so on and so on. By the time that you've broken this puzzle down, you get to a place where you're complete. It gives us step-by-step processes so that we can not be overwhelmed by the picture in front of us. So please remember, if you're in that situation where it's overwhelming you, you don't see the finality of it, just break it down, component by component. Remember what is important now, W-I-N. It'll give you a good start to putting order to some of the stress and chaos surrounding the unknown. I hope that this makes sense. I'll go into further details with other video series in terms of coping mechanisms and staying connected to others. That's also ways that we can bring order to the environment that we're in. I hope this made sense. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks.